And I hope Netflix version of Heartstopper was good. It was. It really, really was. Hello, everyone. Are we excited? I know I am. As you can see, I tried to look a little bit like Kit Connor. I failed. I'm not gonna lie to myself. We are not here for my cosplays, you know? Let's get started with the video.
So before we continue, I just wanted to remember you that my sister Orus uploaded a video on her channel talking about Heartstopper 2. And I think it's really interesting because she talks from the point of view of someone who has first watched the TV show and then proceed to read the 5 volumes. So yeah, if you want to check it out, I'll leave it in the description and at the end of the video. Watch it. She's my favorite YouTuber. You should watch it. So yeah, that's it.
Let's get started with the obvious facts, you know, just in case you don't know anything about Heartstopper and you're here in this video, let's just get this over with. Basically, Heartstopper is a graphic novel created by Alice Oseman. It's about 2 boys, Nick and Charlie, who start becoming friends because they are in the same form group at school, and basically as time passes they realize that their initial friendship might be something more than a friendship, maybe something romantic. So yeah, this is a video talking about the show. I won't be talking about the graphic novel so much, so for the sake of the organization of this video and because I'm really chaotic when it comes to talking about things that I really like, I decided to divide the video in 4 parts. Let's get started with the first one: cinematography and art in general. The show was really aesthetic. The art design, how everything was perfectly placed, and I think it was so aesthetic because it has really nice shots. They made really good transitions between scenes. They look sort of like the comics. Okay, this was something that I really wanted to talk about because it's so important, the use of real social media. I love that they actually used Instagram and didn't create something weird like clicksters. The conversation that the characters have with each other are so genuine. You can actually see them scrolling through their own conversations and they have previous text. It made me feel like I was actually looking at Charlie's phone. I love how they have different phone cases that match their characters' personality, as well as the lock screen pictures that they have. Those little things were the things that made the show look so special, and I really appreciate that. I felt like I was God and I was watching the whole thing from above. You know, they made a really good use of technology in the show. It wasn't something forced. They used Instagram like every normal teenager. They upload stories, pictures, and they don't make the use of social media something cringy, and I like that. Now, to change a little bit the topic, the soundtrack was excellent. It was fun, it felt new for me. It is the kind of music that I would use for a coming-of-age story. As well as I like the use of sound effects to create emotions and excitement. Like, it makes you get really into the story and actually feel what the characters are feeling. I also felt so lonely while watching these things, but you get the point. The use of the little animations was so beautiful. Not only the reference to the graphic novel, like the little leaves between Nick and Charlie, but also the strings when they are hugging in the arcade, the rainbow that appears when Tara and Darcy are dancing in Harry's party, combined with Nick's realization that he wants to be with Charlie and he actually has the courage to go and find him, because seeing Tara and Darcy was sort of an affirmation for him that what he was feeling was okay. There isn't a moment where they throw unnecessary information for you. You actually, as a viewer, get to realize all these things by yourself. And finally, to finish this part, oh my god, this show was so beautifully made. And I think you can really tell that everyone worked so hard and they actually put their hearts into it. Now, let's move on to casting and character development. Let me start saying that the casting for this show was amazing. The actors look just like their characters, and I know there were some changes, like for example, Tao is supposed to be the smallest one of all the characters, and he has this weird hair that I know everyone has been talking about. I agree, it's a little weird, but apart from those little details, I think it was really accurate. Also, I like that the actors looked like actual 14 and 16-year-olds, and not like these 30-year-olds who are playing 15-year-old teenagers. It's something that made the show so realistic. They are awkward, they make mistakes, and overall they're just kids who are trying to discover themselves while having normal problems according to their ages. For example, not being able to say no, feeling pressure to be with a group of people or with a specific person just because everyone is expecting you to do that, hiding your true personality around them. And yeah, those changes are just so hard, and I think Nick has to go through the well-known process of realizing that your friends are shit, basically. And that's an exhausting process. I feel you, Nick, I understand you, and I wish I could give you a hug. And I know I'm talking a lot about the use of real teenagers for the show, but the fact that we get to see little kids inside the school made the whole school environment much more realistic. By the way, I know this is like sort of a stupid thing to say, but the fact that they included real Gen Z phrases like
"Your mum?"
I'm waiting for your mum, actually.
And it wasn't something forced. But changing the topic, another thing that I love is Nick and Charlie's development as a couple. At first they were so awkward with each other, like holding hands, and it's like this new exciting thing that is happening, and as time goes by they get more comfortable being with each other. It looks like a real teenage romance. Also, Tara and Darcy's relationship was a good parallel to Nick and Charlie's relationship. Like, it is noticeable that Tara and Darcy have been together for a longer period of time than Nick and Charlie, that are just starting their relationship. I want to talk a little bit more about Nick's character development. He was so scared of coming out. It made me cry more than once. I cried a lot with this show. When he looks up the gay quiz, that, by the way, I've been there, buddy. He runs into some news about queer people being harassed on the streets. He must have been so afraid. I think that as a queer person, that's something that all of us have been afraid of more than once. And speaking of Nick's character development, I have to say that I understand why he said yes to emotion. Everyone was watching, it was so uncomfortable, and you can see how he feels so pressured to say yes. I honestly think I would have done the same, and I know I did the same when I was in high school. Not exactly agreeing to go out on a date with someone, because that never happened to me, but I am sure that I said yes to things that I didn't want to do just to please everyone. But I don't get to be mad at Nick, because the fact that he went to a park and talked to Imogen and explained her how he really felt about her was so wholesome, and Nick is such a good person. He's such a nice guy. I would have loved to have a crush on someone like Nick when I was their age, who would have rejected me in the nicest way possible. Also, Nick looking for LGBTQ plus movies to watch with his mom. I've been there, buddy. You know, the movie that I watched with my mom to tell her that I like girls was Happiest Season. That was the worst film I could have ever think of watching with my mom. Also, I loved seeing more of Elle's character on the show, how she deals with all these changes, like being in a new school, making new friends, and basically how she doesn't want anything else to change. And also, speaking of Elle, I loved seeing a little bit more of her relationship with Tao. They are so cute together. I think Sebastian Croft did an excellent job as Ben Hope that actually made me hate him. Like, I think it's a mood for everyone to hate Ben Hope but love Sebastian Croft, you know? I think that shows how good the actors were playing their parts. Well, now let's talk about some changes from the original story. So, some changes, I didn't really like them. They felt a little weird. Like, for example, Ben being friends with Nick. I don't know why they did that. It did feel a little weird that he was friends with Nick, because on the graphic novel, Nick truly hates Ben, like he can't stand him, and the fact that they still kind of hang out together every single morning, even though Nick doesn't talk to him, it's still a little weird. I didn't really like that. I don't know why they did that. Also, I loved Isaac's character. I was trying so hard every single time that he appeared with a book to find out what book it was, but I don't know why Aled wasn't there. Like, I can't believe they changed Aled. And I know Isaac is sort of an adaptation for Aled's character. I don't know if they are planning to do something with radio silence and that's why they don't want Aled to be on the show. But yeah, although I love Isaac's character and I really enjoyed seeing him, I would have liked to see Aled, but I loved Isaac. Isaac is actually one of my favorite characters, and the fact that he is the first person to realize that Nick and Charlie are going out.
Sorry.
Isaac knows it all. I know I've already mentioned this, but I really liked seeing more of the girls' stories, like Tara's struggles after coming out. Also, oh my god. The fact that Charlie actually heard what the guys were saying about him before getting into the gym. Oh my god, I think I actually screamed. Now, speaking of new characters like Isaac, I want to say I really liked Imogen's character. I mean, at first she was really annoying, but after she gets to talk with Nick on the park, she was so understanding about the situation. She gets to develop as a character. And we can actually see how happy she is to see that Nick is showing who he really is and he is standing up for himself, and I truly love that. And I do have to say, although I liked it and it was extremely cute, the field scene with Nick and Charlie on the sports day, it was unrealistic. Like, I know it's a TV show, some things are going to be unrealistic, then again I'm not saying that it's something wrong. The way that they came out to the whole school like that, I don't know what they're going to do in season 2, because in volume 3 they are supposed to go to Paris and come out to people. So I don't know what they're going to do there. I don't know if everyone will think that they are best platonic bros and that was a very platonic thing to do and they are not really boyfriends. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But then again, it's a TV show. It's expectable for it to have unrealistic things. And finally, I'm just going to name my favorite things about the show. Maybe I will repeat some things that I already mentioned, but I don't care. So first of all, the little animations, the little flowers and leaves between Nick and Charlie, they're really a specific thing from Heartstopper, and I just love that. And also Alice's cameo and the fact that she was drawing them, oh my gosh. And also the little Easter eggs like Isaac reading Radio Silence and all the books from Alice Osman on Charlie's bookshelves. One of my favorite things was Tori and Charlie's relationship. Although they don't really show much of their relationship in the TV show, I really like seeing those little moments that they have.
You're not ruining my life.
Thanks.
The moments that Nick shares with his mom, the way that their relationship was portrayed was so beautiful, it was so special, it's just like in the books. Especially the part when Nick comes out to her as bisexual. That moment broke me, but changing to a happier mood, the whole snowy day montage was so beautiful. I love seeing Nelly play in the snow, the pictures that they took, as well as the arcade montage when they are all playing games and we can see how Elle starts having feelings for Tao. It was so beautiful. Oh, and the parallels. I like Charlie Spring.
In a romantic way, not just a friend way.
Also, Tao crushing people verbally was so good. Every single one of his comebacks.
Want my attention that badly? Why didn't you just throw something at me again? Like your last remaining brain cell?
They were so good. I actually laugh so much when he talks with Ben, and the faces that he makes when Nick suggests that he may want to get into the rugby team.
It's good for releasing negative emotions.
Those moments were so funny for me. I love a good sarcastic character. I just love Tao's character so much. Oh my god, the milkshake triple date. That was such a beautiful moment. Speaking of which, Nick, I will not forgive you for liking bubblegum flavor. The corridor scene where they are all running and holding hands and Tao can't run.
You know I can't run, it's not my fault.
I'm so lonely. I'm so fucking lonely. One of my favorite things about the show was that both Nick and Charlie's bathroom are exactly the same as in the books. And finally, the show had such a beautiful ending. There are some open things that maybe will get solved in season 2 if they make a season 2, that I'm begging you, please Netflix, make a season 2 and don't fuck it up. So yeah, overall, I basically loved everything about this show. I think it's the best adaptation that Netflix has ever made. Congrats to Alice Osman and all the team that was in charge of making this beautiful thing. They did an excellent job, and if this masterpiece does not get a single prize, I will be mad. And I wish Alice nothing but the best in this world. The amount of representation in this story was amazing, and I love thinking about the fact that a lot of little kids and teenagers are going to watch this show and they will be able to feel understood and represented in media. They are going to be able to relate to all these beautiful characters. It's not only about the LGBTQ plus representation in this show, but also how it portrays healthy relationships. But anyway, I will start crying if I keep talking about the representation in this show. If you haven't watched the show yet, I don't know what you're doing. Just go now and watch it. It's really short, it's beautiful, It's one of the best things that I've seen. So yeah, I think this is the end of the Heartstopper season. I just hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making every single one of them, and especially this one. I really enjoyed the books, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I enjoy making this content so much, and the fact that you like watching it just makes my day. And yeah, that's all for today. Bye!